I met a Gypsy.
I genuinely believe all of these teams are, there's so much passion, which are, again, like I spoke to all of them multiple times in the lead up, and that's really what resonated the most, because this is a journey. It's a business where you're going into business essentially with these 10 stakeholders, and they can have a huge impact on your success. So you want them to be people that are forward thinking, that are innovative, that are willing to push the boundaries, that are willing to do things, to change the sport for the better and be on the same team, whether we all agree or not. There's obviously, like any business, there's times when we don't all agree and we'll debate things out. As long as it's productive and moving forward, I think that's a great thing.
Yeah. So then Moto Concepts, we got Vince Freeze, Justin Brayton, and Cole Seeley. So powerhouse team.
Yeah, huge.
Right there.
Huge.
Is for Vince
and Mitch Oldenburg.
Oh, yep. So Vince and Brayton on the 450, Oldenburg and Cole on the 250.
Yeah. I mean, they're a slick operation, those guys. I mean, they're already set up to do Supercross only, so they were like all over it right from the beginning. It hasn't been as much of a scramble for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think locking in Cole was a really smart move, and they've got a huge amount of attention, and he's super popular. And I've had a couple of phone conversations with Cole, and he genuinely believes in what we're trying to do and thinks it's going to be great for the sport, and he's excited, and that's why, again, he's one of the right people, one of the people we want involved.
Yeah, no, definitely. Click on the WSX vid there. I haven't watched this one, I don't think.
I enjoy racing hard, and I think there's some fans
that like
that and respect that. And there's some that
you got to watch this one.
With it,
is this good?
Yeah, I'm going to keep riding my way. I think the World Supercross Championship is going to bring the most exciting sport in the world, in my opinion, all over the world. People are always going to.
It's kind of good you guys have Vince.
Oh, absolutely.
As much as I've been extremely critical at times of his.
But that's why you need him.
100%.
I never want to be dirty. I never want to see any one of these guys get hurt. I'm just a guy that's
never want to
racing
be
for a
dirty.
living, and we just want to do the best we can every night. We spend 5-6 months before we even get to the race, just lap after lap after lap. I'm not just going to roll over when I get to the race, right?
This is when it starts to feel real,
and not enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to being one of the guys. Those new fans are coming to watch and going to put on a good show for them.
I mean, I love it. I'm
it gets you there.
Yeah, totally. Because we want, again, different personalities. This is professional sport. We want people that are hungry to win and they give a shit if they win or not, and and are passionate about that. I think that's, again, what's amazing, what's exciting for me with this. Compared to, say, AUS-X Open, when we've paid international riders to come, they're getting paid to come. They're not as hungry to win.
Yeah.
Granted,
It's
they want to win.
safety,
They want to win because they're still males and they're still, proud. But in this case, it's like these dudes are legit hungry to win, and there's great prize money on offer, but there's the potential for international recognition, etc., and a world championship, which this year it's only a couple of races, but it will continue to grow and be more and more, have more and more sort of equity to it. But you also want, you want riders that people are either going to love or hate. Like, it's really, really important that you have that level of passion. And you see UFC and how amazingly they do that. It's not about all having the whole bunch of a field of vanilla team owners, vanilla riders, and they all get along and pat each other on the bum and it's all great. That's not what this is about.
Yeah.
You want people to get there.
You got to have some cats amongst the pigeons.
Yeah, totally. And you want people to legit want to win and be passionate to win. So I think Vince is a great character to have because he obviously is that. So
I was thinking last night, 2023, World SX, Coop versus Ken. That's what we need. Can you
speak to your people and make it happen?
Yeah. Well, you got two guys. I think about rivalries, right? Because that is the core of the sport. People want it. Even Ryder D versus Danger Boy. It's like 15-year-old kids and everyone's like frothing on this rivalry.
Totally.
And then, you had Chad and Ricky and James. And, everyone always says like, you'll never see that again. You'll never see that kind of rivalry. And then it's like we got
100%.
Coop and Kenny. Like, they legitimately have that kind of rivalry. They'll be pretty much the same speed next year if they both do SX Global. That's like people, whether you're a hardcore AMA person or whether you work for fucking one of the teams over there that's like not pumped on this, you're going to want to watch those two boys for, find themselves again in their career and just have this insane season-long battle that they always do. Like, there's so many storylines that can come out of, this new championship. And I think that it's one of the gifts of your company is really caring about telling those stories and taking the media side of it extremely seriously. And I really hope that we can get our Hurlings Tomac one-on-one thing off the ground. I feel pretty good about it. But one of the exciting things for me is I'd be like, I get to go balls deep into like telling that story because I mean, for me, that's where the juice of this sport has always been. Is like, we just have these incredible stories if you just dive into them a little bit and get outside of like the top 3 in each class each weekend. There's still stories like, fuck, imagine if you could get Western Pike.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like people really love that side of the sport, maybe more than the racing, maybe more than riding themselves.
Yeah, and I think professional sport, those storylines are what makes it
for
amazing.
Sure. And you guys have such a commitment and such an investment into that, and it's been exciting over these last couple of weeks, like slowly watching that roll out.
And it's, we're just getting started, really. I mean, when we have races this year and we have our own content and we have all these guys on the track at the same time, that'll change the game. We've been really lean on content because we obviously haven't even had WSX Open races for the last couple of years due to COVID, and so we're just getting this whole World Championship started. So as those storylines start to evolve, and we'll obviously make sure we capture those and tell those stories. We're incredibly passionate about that, as you said. So that's what I'm excited about. See all those guys there. How's this going to interact? Like you're also putting all these different cultures and people together in a melting pot that haven't all been together.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
There's a lot of Americans for sure, and they all have, but then
there's 2 Aussie teams.
There's a couple of Aussie teams, 2 French team, an Italian team. I don't know. What if 2 of the countries that really hate each other and then I don't know. But I think that's what's exciting. There's obviously these European riders that haven't done, they've raced Supercross in their own country. But I also believe, and what is exciting is that racing internationally like this is a great leveler because,
I think so too.
You've had to race to make it in Supercross. You've had to race in the US, which means you've got to move your life there, move your family there. You've got to find new networks and places to ride and things to go. If you watch any of the content being put out currently on, WSX Championship, any rider outside the States and their practice facilities and what they're riding with is substandard compared to the US. I mean, we know that the US has the best, facilities in the world for this kind of thing. It's just that as a sport, it's far more advanced.
There's just infrastructure.
The infrastructure's there, the tracks are there, the watering systems are there, and it's awesome. And, in Australia, I can't think of one Supercross track that you can pay and go ride at to practice. Not one. I don't know of any in any of the other regions that we've been talking to either. In the US, like when I first ever went there in the mid 2000s, I was just blown away that you could ride during the week. I was like, I can't believe you can go to like Star West on a Tuesday. I'm like, what? That's insane. Yeah. But they've had that this whole for many years. And so the sport is on a whole nother level. But I think by everyone being in their own comfort zones and coming from their own country and everyone coming, there's no doubt that people, I mean, Cardiff's a great leveler because no one really races in Wales that much, not Supercross anyway. So who's going to be able to adapt the quickest and who's going to get used to that? Who's going to get used to the climate, the food, the place you stay, and it being outside their comfort zone, I think is really exciting.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.